Even if I have children, I got more options than you. I can go find a woman with no kids because I can afford both of you. Even if I have children, I got more options than you. I can go find a woman with no kids because I can afford both of you. If I can afford to take care of you and your kids, I can afford to take care of her and no kids.
Yeah.
Why would I pick you and your kids when I know your kids are not going to, I'm not their father. They'll never look at me as their father. I got all the responsibility and none of the upside of being a biological father. Can I discipline those children like they were my own?
They don't need discipline. They're very
see, that's your problem. There you go, right there. She said they don't
really
need discipline.
Don't.
Okay, this
My
is
kids
why.
are so
This is
great.
why. This is you're in freaking sane if you don't think children, your kids are not special. They need discipline just like anyone else. Maybe you don't. Okay. Then this is the problem. They don't need discipline. So the answer is, could I discipline the child?
Yeah.
Okay, without you questioning me.
Yeah. If I choose you as my partner, like have complete trust in you.
Okay,
and, like,
so I could spank the children.
10, they don't need spanked.
No. I could spank the see right there. I said I could discipline children. You said yes.
Spanking. Oh,
Pay
Lord.
attention, woman.
I am.
You said I could discipline the children without you questioning me. Yes. So if I decide to spank them, I gotta listen to your mouth because they don't need it. That's why you need to stay single until your kids are gone. That's the choice you made when you reproduced, man.
Here's one of the things I observed over the years as a woman with no kids. And with this said, I'm not saying I haven't been with a man with kids. I have. And it also comes from understanding male psychology under patriarchy. One of the reasons of a man pursuing a woman with no kids is for him to start all over again. Because the kids then becomes his previous woman's responsibility in raising those kids. He knows and understands that majority of men shares the same ideas and values. I value family, right? And one thing these men lack is prioritizing time when it comes to their own kids. Because of such men as a woman, your power exists in denying your womb to such men. Such men boost their ego in knowing that he is decreasing your chances of finding love and devaluing you under the society of patriarchy. Making important, valuable decisions in this life because of love is not enough. Love needs to be sustained by other elements that such men cannot provide you in the long term. And this is why also kids nowadays behave the way that they behave because of the lack of family structure in Black society. This is why I and audacity. You as a Black woman, very quickly, you need to learn to center yourself and your feelings. You as a Black woman, you should never center a man's feelings because should it convenience him, he will center himself before you and your offsprings that he will leave you with. Because those offsprings are definitely yours, not his. And he knows damn well that you live in a society that will devalue you for having kids. And not just yours, but they're just as much his, but they will devalue you. Ladies, have you ever sat and watched National Geographic? Then you'll understand that predators are the most laziest of all. They go after prey that are the weakest, slowest, youngest. Those don't even move in groups. They usually hunt alone, unsuspecting because they are unaware of their own environment, and those who are even injured. A lion would never pursue a leopard Mainly because a leopard is much more quicker than a lion. It will leave the lion much more hungrier and more tired. It will leave the lion on the verge of death, basically. This is also for the same reason why men will go to women who are accessible to them. Women who are gullible. Women who are young. Women who are desperate. Women who believe that men are just the same. They all cheat. Pygmies as well. The list goes on and on and on because these women are easily manipulated. Because let's be real, I've seen older women who are above 30 would give young girls a run for their money. That's how beautiful these women are. Not just physically, but upstairs as well. You and I know that the reason you chase a younger girl is because of the mental aspect of it. I mean, as a guy gets older, the one that plays games like you know that it's much easier to chase a young, impressionable young girl with no experience because they are also easily impressed and easily manipulated. They're more on hope than experience, and we both know that experience is the best teacher. So women who are older have experience to know that you're there to waste their time. They also have a BS detector. They're also not so easy to manipulate, and manipulative men don't like that. I'm not going to even address this comment. I am mainly stitching it for the purpose of making women become wary of such predatory men who live among us. For me to even have such a deep analysis of such predatory men is because I was once a prey of a predatory man. There are some friends of mine on this platform that already know the story about me, including those who have followed me for a long time now. I came into contact with a man around 10, turning 11, and he was also the son of a family friend, and it was normal for us to be acquainted to each other due to the friendship of our parents. He also did not do anything of suspicious to me at this point because I'm very close to my father, and that was something he was aware of. He also did not want to do a little bit too much that would lead him into trouble with my parents and also the law. So he was pursuing me minimally. Mind you, at this point I'm also aging. I am 13 at this point, and my father's disease is getting worse. And this was also the point me and him started dating. I was vulnerable at this point. I'm vulnerable, right? I could even say that our relationship on its foundation level actually started when I was really 12. Because my father was really in and out of the hospital, and we weren't really talking that much. And it was affecting the whole family, and I took it the hardest. And he was the closest male to me. I'm young, I'm naive, I'm vulnerable at this point. And I did remember promising my boyfriend that I'm gonna give him my innocence when I'm around 14. And that is also the time my father passes away. And I still remember him telling me, I've been waiting for a long time and I can't wait any longer. You need to prove your love to me. And that's what I did. I'm a 14-year-old girl, traumatized by her father's death. And my boyfriend used that pain against me, that trauma against me. I was easily manipulated because I was already in a vulnerable state. And that's where our relationship started strongly. He could not have access to me fully because my mother was very strict. And even when he was having access to my body, he could not really enjoy my body the way he wanted. And this is what also prompted the decision for him to even want to marry me at the age of 18. Out of the women that he's been with, I was the one that stayed the longest. I've been with him for years now, right? So he wants to marry me at 18, nah? And my mother is not happy with this. She's not happy, she's not having it. She's like, she needs to go to school. And I don't even know what I want to pursue at school because all my life I've known him. I still remember also one time, I'm 19 or so, because my family did not want my mother. She fought for me to not even get married at 18. And I still remember also my mom was like asking me, how long have you been with this guy? How long have you been with this guy? And I did not also want to tell her that how long I've actually been with him, because also telling my mother that would jeopardize my husband my husband. So I lied to my mother. I told my mother that actually we've been together for a year now, and he's serious. He wants to marry me. Yeah, my mom was like, no, just go to school. Just go to school. I'm not doing this. Just go to school. I did not work this hard for you to just be married at this young age. I did not sacrifice what I sacrificed for you to do this to me, to do this to the family. And also, this was also the point where his friends, well, the closest friend to him, I remember also hearing this conversation. He's like telling him, this girl is aging. You don't want to get her pregnant because there was a fear and the controversy around your relationship with her. How about you get her pregnant now? She's 19, right? She's over 18. Because right now you have nothing to hold her with. And this also prompted the desire for him to get me pregnant. Because I heard this, I don't want a baby also. This is something that clicked inside my brain for the first time. I started thinking, I'm 19. I have something in my brain that's telling me, I don't want to have a baby. I don't really want to get married. I haven't lived my life, and every time I've lived my life was in your shadow. And I've tolerated the most. I mean, he cheated with me, with my best friend. I mean, they had a full-blown affair right in front of my face, and I did nothing because, yeah. He cheated with me with multiple women. Even my late sister knew about it. Everyone knew that he was cheating on me, and I'm there. It prompted the next question of him trying to marry me the second time. I'm 22 at this point. Did I also mention that he made me get off the pills? 22 again, he's trying to bring this topic again of marriage, of actually marrying me. I'm 22 at this point. This story is even getting long, but I am advising ladies that you must be wary of predatory men. They pursue the vulnerable, the naive, the young, the weakest, the one that is easy to manipulate. And that is what happened to me. It's becoming unnecessary long, this video, but I hope you get the point. And I hope you teach your girls better, because it's much better for them to be skilled than for them to end up in this kind of category with such men. Men who have high body count, men who just want the innocence of a young child, men who want girls that they can groom into the woman that they want. So be mindful of such predatory men. They live among us.
You know what I also learned about men with such thinking capacity? When me and my ex-boyfriend were dating and we would go out in public, especially when we would spend time among his social circle of friends, since they also knew that he had the intention to marry me. So they would say things that would gaslight me and justify him. They would say things like, wow, Anjo, you and this girl, you're still together namanje. I want a girl like her. Even when they knew that he pursued me when I was 10 years old. And they would say things like, oh, well, he did not really pursue you when you were 10 years old. He started romantically dating you when you were 14 years old. And I'll be like, no, that is what led to the promise of giving him my innocence at 14 years old. Not that he did not touch me before I turned 14. He did. Mind you, every time we'd go to bed, I would bleed. I bled for probably 3 years before my body would get used to what we were doing. Not to mention also that he would program me to think and act and feel a certain way. I did not know what a female orgasm is because I did not experience it with him. I had my first menstruation when I was with him. I thought I was pregnant. He was also the guy that introduced me to preventions. He was controlling that he did not even want me with boys around my same age. And the only reason he did not even get me pregnant under 18 was due to the fact that he loved his reputation more, which I was really thankful about, that he did not get me pregnant. By the time he actually wanted to have a baby, I was not having it. And at that time, implants were the best. I knew that even if I got pregnant, I would get rid of it, because I knew that me and that baby would live a life of hell. Because I knew at the end of the day, marriage was what he would use to reward me with. His friends and most people, most men, shared the same views about women. It also got to a point where he did not allow me to talk about how long we've been together. Because there was a lady who once asked me how long we've been together, and I said 10 years. And she asked me how old I was, and I said I'm 22. And she was like, what? That is what led him to say, I don't want to hear you talk. Just shut up. Listen, in order for you to have a clear clarification about the story, you need to go to the previous video, because this is a second video. You will not find the understanding and the clarification that you're looking for in this question in this video. And again, there's no question that you could possibly ask me that could possibly offend me, because like I said in this video, there would be men like you that would gaslight me and justify his actions for years, simply because men could not comprehend his behavior with the things that I was accusing him of. I mean, even the things that they were aware of, they could not bring themselves to believe it inside their brain, because believing it makes it real for them. I mean, initially, to the point, I did not even accuse him. It was things that were known, maybe suppressed, but they were known. Let's give you a summary about my parents a little bit. He's the son of my parents' friends. One thing about his strategy that he implemented was trust, because like I said in the previous video, he did not do anything when he approached me when I was 10, turning 11. I mean, around that time, he did not do anything of suspense for me to even report. A child cannot report you for being kind. After all, those were the things I would tell my parents about how nice he is, how friendly he is. I don't believe that my parents would even put me in a space that they were not even comfortable in, that they did not even think that I would not be safe. And the same can be said about his parents as well. After all, I was a daddy's girl. Like, I loved my father. And that is something that he was aware about. To this day, the reason also the guy is very successful is because of his attention to detail. Little little mistakes gets you caught by the law and parents. I mean, he knew how to position himself in a way so that would not make him suspicious. I mean, my mom was also vulnerable at this point, and she could not have eyes on everything. First, her husband is in and out of the hospital, and also my siblings are busy with work, they're busy with school, you know? And there's me, the youngest. The only thing he could offer me was to be there and support me. And then with time, there would come this little small things, like the first time he kissed me, and I'm 12 years old, or when he touched me and caressed me and told me that I'm beautiful. And that was the moment I could have reported him, but he enabled something. Trust. My brain was holding on to the moments that, should I report him, I'm gonna lose my friend because my father warned me, right? But he was not there, he was sick. So now I'm all alone and he's all I have. So my child brain put these responsibilities on him because that's how he positioned himself to me. Remember when I finally got the courage to leave him? He lost his mind. I remember him coming to my parents' house. And Abelungu, they were listening on how much I'm his wife, and he did not work the way that he worked on me for another man to have me. He was never gonna allow that. He was never gonna allow me be with another man. It's not gonna happen, not in his lifetime. And he was like, you don't want me to do my worst. You don't want to try me. You don't want to get me angry. You don't want to see me on another level. I've been kind to you. I've been nice to you. So you don't want to see the other side of me that other girls do not see. So don't dare me. And now one of the reasons I would move around a lot was because I did not want him bringing my family into this. You can imagine the shock his parents
Need a man, you need to come to a point that you should be comfortable with being by yourself. You should be able to put your trust happiness.